All right, everyone. What's going on? Phil here, and welcome. Good morning. It's the PreStream podcast, my friends. How y'all doing? I hope that you're having a great weekend so far. Today is Saturday, the 16th of April, 2022. I'm on time, and I remembered to say the day and the day and the date, and when I do, that's usually a good sign. How's everyone today? I hope you're doing good, man. I'm in a much better mood today than I was yesterday, that's for sure. Yesterday was like stress city. Today I can sit back a little bit, relax a little more, and get my ass beat in Elden Ring. Right? Good. Yes. Oh, yes. Anyway. Yeah, yesterday was pretty much a bad nightmarish morning. This morning, not so much. So, shall I just get to the elephant in the room? I got sand in my eyes bothering me. The hell? Shall I get to the elephant in the room? Well, first of all, take a look at this sweet new border, right? More new borders for the PreStream podcast are always a good thing. And by the way, love classic Metroid. Metroid 1 is outstanding. Really dig classic Castlevania. I've played a few of them. Never really owned one, but actually enjoyed them. And a few years ago, I played Castlevania Bloodlines on the Genesis Mini, which is a really good game. I really liked it. So you want to talk Metroidvania? I think that's what this is, right? Pretty sweet. Anyway, so let's talk as a follow-up to yesterday's disaster. I was late to stream. I was stressed the hell out, and people were wondering what was going on. Ants. We got them. Yeah, this is the first year I've lived here, and we had any kind of a bug problem, and it's ants. Well, I take that back. There was fruit flies many years ago, but this is the first time that I guess there's some ants in the backyard and they've gotten wind of our house and are coming in. Yesterday, no exaggeration on the pre-stream, well, before the pre-stream, downstairs when I was usually supposed to be like having a coffee and eating breakfast, I was killing ants. I killed like 8, 9, or 10 of them. And then put down more traps because we had traps out already. So now we put out a good 6 traps in the downstairs dining room / living room area, kitchen area as well. And then I came upstairs, I did the PreStream podcast, okay? And I went and talked to my wife after it, and she's like, yeah, I killed like 12 or 13 more. I was like, what? And then during the break, I killed more, and then I got upset. Because, you know, when you see that many, that's it. I've had enough. What is going on with these ants? We have a cleanly house. If I explained on yesterday's PreStream podcast, all of our food is bagged. It's not like we have anything exposed. Everything is like, kept neat and tidy. We don't have a messy home. So why are these ants coming in, and what's going on, right? So I got pissed, and I went into my garage, and I actually realized I did have ant poison, ant spray. What it is a can that I usually used for, like, spiders or flying bugs, but it was ant, roach, and spider poison. I didn't even realize that. So I went out back, and I sprayed a perimeter around the back of the house, right under the screen door, and into, the bottom of the screen door, and sprayed a perimeter. So now anything coming near the house is going to get right into that bug spray. And what I'm going to do is once a day I'm going to go out there and I'm going to spray like that. So then during last night's late stream, which was Street Fighter, my wife said, this is ridiculous. We're not putting up with this. What the problem now is they're probably in the house. So she said, I'm going to do a deep cleaning of the house. Okay? That entailed basically vacuuming every corner, crevice, and nook, mopping the floor thoroughly, everything that you could think of. So I'm not even kidding. While I was up here streaming Street Fighter last night, my wife was downstairs scrubbing and scouring the bottom floor for 2 hours. The whole late stream. Basically, when I was finishing Street Fighter, I went down there and she was just finishing cleaning the house. I was like, damn, you really went in on it. And she's like, yeah, I wanted these things gone. It's gross. It is gross. You don't want ants climbing in all your stuff. It's not their fault. They're looking for food. It's not like they're a crazy intrusive species. They're not here to make a nest in your home. They just want food. They want to get out. But it's unfortunate that somehow the signal got sent that they think that there's a bunch of food here when there's not. So by the end of the night, my wife had cleaned the whole house. All right. And we looked around, and I think I saw one ant. Okay, one. And that was it. Went to sleep. Woke up this morning. Went down there. I've only seen 2. One was like straggling in the pantry floor. There's no food there for it. So it's just like walking in circles, not knowing what to do. And another one I just found kind of like in the middle of the floor, but you could tell it's not like it was like before. They were coming in groups. They were coming in like whole parties trying to find stuff. And I think with these may have been two stragglers who were hiding out somewhere, you know, in the house, and they were coming back and said, "Where'd everyone go?" Right? But definitely it's not as bad as it was yesterday. And what we're going to do is every day we're going to be diligent. If we see any, got to get rid of them. And then every day I'm going to spray the back of the house. Okay? So we'll see what happens. I hope that this, you know, that this is going to get rid of it. You know, it does suck that, you know, it does suck that this happened. And what I'm hoping is between the traps that are out, hopefully some of them will grab the food from the trap, take it back to the nest, and that's the end of that. Or the spray that I'm putting at the back of the house, that'll be a defensive border, and we won't get new waves of them in there. I mean, maybe we'll have some residual ants that were kind of hiding out in the house already, looking for food, and now they're going to try to get back and like, uh-oh, what happened? But outside of that, I'm hoping that's the end of it. Every day I'm going to go back out there and spray. I'm actually going to get more ant spray this week when I go out on Tuesday, and every day going to be spraying to make that border, okay? Now, worst case scenario, they're not coming in here from the back door. Now, I can't imagine that they'd be coming from anywhere else. You know, we don't have any holes in the floor. You know, we were looking all around yesterday. We're like, where could they be coming from? Like, there's no holes in the floor or anything like that. We looked under every rug. They're not under the rugs. We looked, you know what I mean? Like, we're looking at every little possible area. And the only thing we can think of right now is the back door, unless, like, somehow they burrowed up through a wooden floor into our kitchen behind the fucking fridge or something like that. How would they possibly do that, right? So I hope not. I hope that this is, we did enough work yesterday to basically the beginning of the end for them, you know. And the least, if we see more, now we know they're coming in again, because I can't imagine with what we did yesterday that there's a ton still in the house. So if we start seeing a big trail of them again, we know they're coming in again. Swangan says maybe they came in from the deep root depths after you murdered their offspring. Yeah, maybe there's an anthill and they ripped through the floor, the wooden floor. It's a hardwood floor, and they ripped through the hardwood floor. And they're pissed. I hope not, but I'll tell you now, ants are not my nemesis. I've had enough. This is just, it's ridiculous. They're not, the thing is, they're not disgusting. They're not like that kind of bug. There are some bugs that are really creepy and disgusting when they infest. These guys aren't infesting. They're just looking for food and trying to get out again. They're like, get out of my house, man. Stop that. It's very annoying. So I hope that took care of it. Anyway, that was the elephant in the room because that was the big thing from yesterday. So hopefully now we're on the path to recovery. All right? I hope. There are some other steps I can take. There's different kinds of poison you can get. The ones we got was the more common one from Amazon, but apparently there's tougher, more heavy-duty stuff you can get if it's not working, that I could actually put outside, too, if I need to. Not that I want to, but I might have to, you know. So hopefully that we nipped it in the butt. You know, we went from yesterday 30, 40 ants that we killed and a thorough cleaning to only 2 this morning. That's a distinct improvement, and hopefully we'll go to 0 starting tomorrow. You know what I mean? Okay. So, there we go. That's the deal with that. Now we got that out of the freaking way. We can talk about what I want to talk about, which is video games. What we're here for, right? That's right. So, happy Saturday, everyone. Hopefully your weekend's going good for you so far. Let's talk about what I'll be doing for the next several days. In fact, this morning, I'm going to be setting up a very important poll live on the PreStream podcast where you guys are going to begin to vote on what you want to see for the new late night chill stream rotation. Why? Because we're going to finish a game tonight, and we're going to move on to have something new in the rotation that you guys will get to choose, okay? Exciting. I don't know why I slapped my leg like that, but it's very exciting. So let's talk. First of all, today, what are we up to? Well, today it's Elden Ring Day, and in Elden Ring today, we are going to be doing endgame content, okay? And what does that mean? It means that we are basically in the last few areas of the game for what people are telling me. Again, I'm just going off of what I'm being told. I haven't spoiled myself. The map looks like we're pretty much done, doesn't it? Excuse me. It looks like at this point, with the map, there's not much left to do. We're in the northeastern part of the map, which is all snow. And for what I'm to understand, there is a final hidden underground dungeon, one final one for the game that's the most challenging of the game. So I figure once we do the underground dungeon, we clear the area I'm in now, then we've just got the very end of the game, okay? Now, am I expecting to turbo through this content? No, and here's why. I'm being told it's the most challenging in the game. That actually, at this point where I am right now, there's a difficulty spike. That I have been in the middle of the game for a while. The whole Mount Gelmer, Volcano Manor, the capital city isn't that challenging. And if you remember, when I went under the capital city to the sewers, that was supposed to be challenging, and it absolutely was for me, okay? So, what I'm hoping is that we will make great progress, but at the same time, I'm in no rush to finish. I'm not gonna say, oh, I hope I finish today or tomorrow. No, it's crazy. I actually think what'll happen is we'll play today, we'll play again on Monday. Next week, we'll be playing it 2-3 times, and that'll probably be the end. I'm trying to think, like, by the end of next week, we'll probably see the end of Elden Ring, okay? Unless, by some crazy twist, there's more content I'm not aware of, or unless it's insano difficult to the point where I'm just dying for an entire stream and I can't make any progress. The thing is, we haven't really come across that in the entirety of Elden Ring, right? Like, it seems like in Elden Ring, you can make constant progress one way or another. It's not like old Dark Souls games where, oh, well, you're stuck in a dungeon, you better just get good and beat it. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess. All right, keep in mind, my new build is quite good. This Blasphemous Blade is outstanding. I like using the shield with it. I like that the shield auto heals. I like that the blade and the special ability auto heals. There's a lot of benefits to this new build that I'm using. Now, here's the thing. I just want to make something abundantly clear yet again. I really shouldn't have to say this, but I might as well. I don't know anything about what the good builds are in this game. I was just trying for an incredible amount of variety in the playthrough. You know, I started off with just a regular sword that the Vagabond got. I then started using the Dismounter. Then I started using that curved sword I got from the Bloodhound Knight. Then I started using the Golden Halberd when I had the stats for it. But then I quickly realized the Golden Halberd was quite overpowered, so I started using the Magma Worm sword. After that, I varied, and I started using that Ice Rapier thing. Actually, I take it back. It was the Ice Rapier first, then it was the Magma Worm sword. And I did use the Magma Worm sword for a while, but then I kind of got bored of it, and I started using that Erd Tree Spear. I used that for a while. Then I got bored of that, so I started dual stancing halberds. Then I was like, all right, that's kind of ridiculously overpowered, so let me change that. So then I started dual stancing great axes, but immediately then, right, after dual stancing the great axes, we basically got to a point where I got this cool weapon. And I was like, damn, this is actually the first boss soul, I know it's not, it's supposed to be a remembrance, but boss soul weapon in the game that seems for my build and worth using. And so I started using it, and man, it's good. I've only used it for basically one stream, and man, this is a good build, okay? I like the shield build because you can block attacks, plus you can do that, what is it called? Is it the repost or whatever? You block and you counterattack after it. I like the fact that it heals me. Definitely I like the fact that it heals me. But here's the thing. I didn't know anything about it being OP or anything like that at all. I just went off of what my stream viewers were telling me, and one particular stream viewer was like, hey, Phil, don't you know that's a good boss weapon? You should try it out. So I damn, it fits my build perfectly. It's exactly what my stats were for. So I like it, and then I start getting emails. I'm not even kidding. I start getting emails. Oh, you cheated. Oh, you went online, and you looked for the best builds in Elden Ring, and you just ripped it off of everyone else. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? First of all, the people who I'm watching play Elden Ring aren't even near where I am. They haven't gotten to these areas yet. One person is way behind her in Liurnia, and the other person got to the capital city, but actually went to the capital city and never went to Volcano Manor. So the two people that I'm actively kind of watching playing the game don't have the weapon. So how could you even say that I watched someone else who did it? You couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm not looking anything up for this game. People have been sending me, odds and ends about how do you do this NPC quest that you missed and this and that, which I appreciate. As I've told you guys, this run is my run in Elden Ring. Will there be future runs? Yes, there's a strong possibility. But this game is so long, there's no way I'm playing it again right away after I beat it. This is something that maybe after some time I'll come back to and do a completely different style run. Like I said, I really think I would like to do magic in a second run. But it's just pretty crazy because people will just always try to discredit everything I do in life. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how I do it. They even to this day remember how I did so well at the end of Sekiro, and they try to act like that's, oh, that was no big deal. They're just assholes. They literally will just do this no matter what I do. Right now, I could walk outside the door, all right? I could stop an armed robbery single-handedly at a bank, okay? Then cross the street, walk into a hospital research department and cure cancer. And then as the aliens are landing, I could pick up a spear and throw it into their energy generator and blow up their fucking invading spaceship. And people would say, wow, what an asshole. And I'm used to it. I actually am. I'm used to it. So that being said, I'm not cheating. I'm not looking anything up. It just happened to be cool that this weapon fell into my hands. I had it. It was a boss weapon that was for my stats. I started using it. I like it. Okay? Who's to say I won't change the build again? But here's the thing. Am I really going to change the build? We're at the end of the game now. What are the chances I'm going to find another weapon that's for my build that's going to be cool, right? Honestly, probably not. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I like this build. I do. I think it's very unique and interesting and different from what I've done up to now. I think it's going to be good to tackle the rest of the game with. And I'm excited for today. I just entered an optional cave. I want to do that. And then I want to see if I can find the way into this final secret underground area that people are telling me apparently there's a teleporter hidden somewhere to get to it. I definitely want to do it. Like, it's a no-brainer that I would want to do this area. So, I guess we'll see. Okay? We'll see how it goes. Alright. Should be a fun stream today, no matter what. Later tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, the conclusion of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I've been playing this game for quite some time. If you remember, I started playing Kirby the same time I started playing Ghostwire Tokyo. It's been a while, right? But the thing is, Kirby was always a night stream. And because it was always a night stream, I basically was only playing it in 2-hour increments, which basically made it take a lot longer. Like, if you actually take a look at the length of my Kirby playthrough, which currently stands at 17 hours, and you compare that to the length of my Ghostwire Tokyo playthrough, okay? My Ghostwire Tokyo playthrough, if I can get to it, because I beat it like a week and a half ago. Hold on. Was around 16 hours long. So Kirby is just about the same length, maybe slightly longer. But yeah, basically with Kirby, because I played it as the late night stream, it definitely took much longer, to get through. And because of that, here we are 3 weeks later, okay? But the good news is, we're beating Kirby tonight. What's left in Kirby? Well, the final challenge stage of World 8, which was the secret unlockable world. Think in Super Mario Brothers, think, the Star World, or the special world, the post-game optional challenge world. That's exactly what World 8 has been. So once we beat the final stage of that, apparently it does unlock a final part of the plot line and a final few challenges. But from people who've beaten the game, they're saying, you're definitely beating it tonight. It's not that much content left. You should complete it. So that'll effectively end the Kirby playthrough. If we have a little extra time tonight, I'm okay with maybe switching over to Q&A or whatever. It all depends on how much time we have extra. I don't know how much time extra we're going to have, okay? But since Kirby is concluding tonight, that is going to open us up to new late night chill streaming content starting on Monday night. Let's get to Monday night, and then we're gonna talk about that, okay? So, let's get to Monday night in this pre-stream is what I meant to say. Okay, so that's tonight. Tomorrow, Sunday, the 17th, it's going to be more Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and now we have begun The Phantom Menace in the prequel movies trilogy. What's weird about The Phantom Menace is we've now played for about an hour, and I've done one story mission that lasted 5 minutes. The rest of it was all open world transitional stuff, which is fine. I like doing the open world exploration and the puzzles, but it's just kind of weird that every other movie that I played in the original trilogy, the story missions took out the meat of what you were doing, and there were some open world transitions that were kind of lengthy, but they weren't the meat of what it was. This is like, damn, an hour in, and I've only done one story mission, and it's very short. It's kind of weird. So I don't know if it's just because the prequel sucks. I don't know. Maybe they just couldn't come up with anything meaningful for a story-based mission. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to continue with that tomorrow. I'm excited to keep playing it. I really like the game. It's really a cool way to re-experience the Star Wars franchise for sure. And now that we're heading into the stuff that I'm not as familiar with, you know, I'm very familiar with the original trilogy, but I'm not as familiar with the other movies. This should be a little bit more interesting because it's kind of like reliving the story. So, I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. For that, tomorrow night, Skyrim After Hours. We're going to finish up the Dark Brotherhood quest line. I've been doing Dark Brotherhood for like 2 streams now, and we'll finally be able to wrap it up tomorrow night. And I don't remember how it ends, by the way. I have no recollection. I didn't even remember what happened last stream happens in that plot line. So kind of like, whoa, it shocked me. And then we'll see what's next. You know, there's a million things to do in Skyrim. Some people had suggested the Companions next. Maybe we'll do the Companions quest line next. We'll see. Okay. Then on Monday, more Elden Ring. Cool. And then Monday night, here we go. Monday night, no matter what, we're doing something new. All right, and here's how it's going to work. I made a determination after thinking about this for a while. Here's the determination I came to. We need something that's going to be fresh and interesting, but not the same thing over and over, okay? So what I'd like to do is I would like to return to the world of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. What we're going to do is every week, moving forward on the late streams, one night, we're going to play a game from Game Pass, and the next night we're going to do Skyrim. And then we'll do another Game Pass game, and then we'll do Skyrim. It's going to alternate like that. Now, how's it going to work? We already have a tremendous amount of games that I've already started playing on Game Pass, okay? So what I would like to do right now, live on the PreStream podcast, is set up a poll by which you guys are going to vote over the course of today and tomorrow and the early day Monday on what game we're going to start with playing on Monday night. So here's how it's going to work, okay? You'll vote. You'll pick a game. That game that wins the poll will be played Monday night. That'll be the 2-hour late night chill stream on Monday night, okay? I'm off from streaming on Tuesday. Wednesday night will be Skyrim. On Thursday, there'll be another game, and we're going to have another poll. You're going to vote over the course of the week. What's the next Game Pass game that we want to see Phil play? Okay? So you're going to have a hand in all of this. You're going to be basically interactive Game Pass nights every other chill streaming night. Okay? Now, whatever game wins the first poll and gets played Monday night will be ineligible, not eligible, for the next poll. So let's say, for example, I Am Fish wins and we play it Monday night. I Am Fish is not in the running for Thursday night's Game Pass stream. It'll be the other games that were basically not voted in, so we get something different. Now, what will happen is I will start to put in the games again once we get through several polls. So, I Am Fish, and then let's say the second time, I don't know, One Piece wins, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Then the next poll, I Am Fish maybe comes back into the fray, and you could vote on it again, or you could vote on something different. So the reason I like this, it's variety, it's continuing things that we've already started and you guys already liked, okay? And it creates a level of interactivity with you guys. Rather than it being all on me and then people saying, I wish Phil didn't choose to do a full playthrough of this one or this one because I don't like this or I don't like that. In this case, you're getting tons of variety and you're controlling the variety. Personally, any of those games that we had started on Game Pass, I'd be more than happy to continue. And I'm excited because people liked those games many months ago, and then they all went on hiatus starting in February because we had the nonstop new releases for 2 damn months. Now, finally, things have slowed down enough that we can get this going again, okay? So that's what we're doing, all right? Now, I understand that there's some other things there that are, for example, we never started MLB The Show 22, and that's on Game Pass right now, okay? I'll tell you this, for the very first vote, it will not be in the poll. But perhaps as we move forward in the week, maybe I'll add that in as a choice, and if you guys actually want to see me do MLB as one of these late night chill streams, we can add it in as a possibility. It's not going to be the initial poll. I'd like to have games I already started, but that might be snuck in or slid in there into the eligibility later in the week, okay? Now, here we go again. I've already announced that after I beat either Elden Ring or Lego, whichever finishes first, which at this point I'm assuming it'll be Elden Ring, but who knows? The next major playthrough that I will be doing is WWE 2K22. All right, people have been asking for it for over a month. You're upset I didn't play it. It will be the next major playthrough, starting with the showcase story mode, but then going over to the creator wrestler / my career mode and playing through that. Okay, that's what we're doing next. So it's on the agenda. It's already there. It's ready to go. All right. Good Lord, I swear to God, I've never had this much demand for a WWE game ever in my history. I'm not even kidding. I used to say, oh, we're doing WWE this year, and people would be like, oh, he's doing WWE again. He does it every year. It's fucking boring. This year, it's like, oh my God, Phil didn't play WWE. We want WWE. Like, geez, it's a complete polar opposite. I certainly wasn't expecting that, right? So anyway, that's coming. Not yet, but it's coming, okay? And then you might say, well, what's the next playthrough? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know after that. We have to talk about it because there will be some options. I mean, there's some options, for example, going back to Dying Light 2, which has been on hiatus since early February, right? Or finding something else perfectly viable to go into the rotation as a major play. I don't even know what it would be at this point. I do know that there should be some games coming out in May. I do have to sit down again and look at the game release schedule and get some of those games into my schedule because I don't have them. Like, right now, just to give you some perspective, looking at what I have in my game release schedule from months and months ago, okay, it looked like there was Evil Dead the game coming out on May 13th, and Mario Strikers Battle League is coming out on June 10th. Wait, that's June. Never mind. Evil Dead the game is May 13th. That's all I have for May. I don't even have another game listed for May. But I made this list many months ago. So it's very possible that... excuse me. It's very possible that has changed, okay? Swaggin says, is Martha is Dead still on your radar? Yes. If it is a horror game that people found interesting, you think it would be interesting to see me play through it? Yes. That's on my radar, too. I was interested in it months ago. Didn't get to play it. I'm still interested in it. Okay? Excuse me. Okay. So now, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, live here on the stream. It's time to set up the poll. Okay? Let's do it live. We go right over here. For those who don't know, I'm going to my community tab on the main channel page of DSPGaming. Okay, this is where you can find the poll. I'm setting up the poll. I think it's maximum of 5 options, yes. So, which Game Pass game would you like Phil to play first on Monday night? Okay, so the options will be as follows. Let's do this. Ready? Option number 1. Serious Sam 4. Option number 2. I am Fish. Ooh, are you? Option number 3. The Forbidden City, the final ending, which, by all reports, takes about 2 hours to do. It would actually probably be perfect for a late night stream session. Okay. Option number 4. The Outer Wilds. Option number 5 is where it gets a little hairy. Because there's multiple games that we've played that could slide in. But I'm going to pick One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Now, I'm well aware. For example, there's games such as Quake that could be eligible. There's also, there's another one too. There's like 2 others that I don't fit in here, okay? But those will be possibilities in future polls. These are the 5 that jump out in my mind as things we started, you guys really seem to like, and that I would like to continue sooner rather than later. So, the poll is about to go live right now. Which Game Pass game would you like to see Phil play first on Monday night? Good luck. Serious Sam 4, I Am Fish, The Forbidden City, The Final Ending, The Outer Wilds, or One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Boom. The poll is live, and I will see how you guys vote over the course of this very pre-stream. I'm very interested to see how you guys vote in that poll. And let's see how it goes. I have no idea how that's going to go. Seriously. That could go any way. I don't know what of those games you guys found more entertaining. I guess we'll find out shortly. Okay, so please vote. Again, how do you vote? Go to DSP Gaming on YouTube. On the main channel page, community tab. Poll should be right there. Please vote. Christian says, am I considering Sniper Elite 5 that comes to Game Pass in May? He says, it's on Game Pass. It's a no-brainer that I should try it. I don't know if I would play it long-term. I just played Sniper Elite 4 several months ago on Game Pass. I played I played one late-night session of it and one stream of it, and people got bored of it. Within one major stream, people were like, wow, this is repetitive and boring. So I stopped playing it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to wait. In a little bit, I'm going to check on the results of that poll and let you know live how the results are looking. Okay? Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to divert your attention once again to the members goal for the month, which went up by 1. We're at 372, okay? 28 members away from hitting the monthly goal. If we hit the monthly goal, I'm going outside of my comfort zone and doing a special event I've never done before. I'm going to watch a video made about me going through my very troubled history as an early content creator and video game let's player on YouTube. It's called Down the Rabbit Hole Dark Side Phil. Over 6 million views were gotten on this video over the years. People have seen it, and basically people who don't know me have watched that video and think that's the end all be all of me. But the truth is that since that video was made 5 years ago, I've changed a lot as both a person and a content creator. I don't even make the same format of content. Now I'm a full-time live streamer. I've definitely changed the kind of stuff that I do. I've changed my attitude when it comes to fan feedback and the like. So I feel this would be a really good way to go down memory lane, recap all the things that happened to me up to that point, give added insight, give commentary, and let you know the true story behind a lot of that stuff that basically is either half-truths or mostly true, but maybe I could kind of help elaborate a little bit more on what was happening at that time, okay? You guys asked me to do this for years, and I said, no, I'll put it off. No, I don't want to do it. I finally decided this is something different that I could do right now, all right? So, to do this, we got to hit the members goal for the month. If you're not a member yet, think of all the benefits you're missing out on. Highlight a name in the chat. Highlight a name in your comments on YouTube videos. Using my emotes both in the chat and on comments on YouTube videos. Getting a cool chat crown badge both in the chat and on the comments of YouTube videos to show how long you've been a channel supporter. Not having to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat when you're on a live stream. Getting priority access to special events when it comes to nominating and voting on things. There's a million benefits to being a member. If you're not and you watch the content regularly, what are you waiting for? Right now, there's over 300 people on the stream. On demand, there's thousands of people who watch my content on a daily basis. Unique stream viewers a day, I get between 500 to 1,000. There's a lot of people who are watching my content on a daily basis. Please become a member. Let's make it happen. Let's do something special. And I will give you a follow-up on this, okay? If this event is successful, I will consider doing similar things. Like yesterday, someone said to me on the stream, well, what about the other video over there that everyone would like to see you watch and comment on? I said, what are you even talking about? And they said, what about Wings of Redemption? And I said, well, I consider it. But first, obviously, you want to do the video about me. Duh. I can add actual insight and things like that to that video because it's me. All right? Now, me reacting to another video about another content creator isn't that special. Then again, I don't really know that much about Wings outside of what you guys have told me. So maybe watching this ridiculously long 2-hour video would give me some insight into half the shit you guys reference on my streams half the time. However, I did say this, and I will absolutely say this up front. I would only consider it if I got outright permission from both Frederick Knudsen, the person who made the video, and from Wings. I would want to make sure that this wouldn't be harmful content to Wings, and I also want to be sure that the content creator who made the video would be okay with me watching it, because that's the kind of guy I am. I know a lot of people would just go out there and do it no matter what, say, oh, fair use, fair use. I want to get permission. That's how I am, all right? So, the point I'm making here is thus. This is step one. If we hit this goal and we do this down the rabbit hole about me, and we cover all the topics, and I can talk about it and have elaboration on my past and things like that, that would be a great thing, I feel. Something unique, something different, something I've never done. If that's successful, then we could say, let's maybe branch it out a bit, right? Let's branch it out a little bit. Let's see what else I can do. But we got to do this first. You know what I'm saying? Like, We got to do that first and then we're jumping 10 steps ahead when we haven't gotten past the doorway to get into the building yet. You see? So, let's please consider becoming a member. We have about 2 weeks left to hit the goal. All right? So we still have time, but the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be. And I know this from experience. What ends up happening is about halfway through the month, some people who became members, they start to expire. They don't also auto-renew right away. And then it's going to dip a little bit more. Now it's going to be a little further away. And then people start getting demotivated and saying, oh, no, now we can't hit it. At one point, we were at 391 members. And it stalled, and we didn't hit the 400 members goal. How that happened, I have no effing a clue, but it happened. Okay? So, please consider this. All right? Let's make it happen. Lock it in. If we lock it in, now we can schedule it, we can get it going, and then we can start planning for the future. All right? All right. All right. Leg slapping action. Let's get to shout-outs. And then if we have time, we'll do Q&A, but let's see, because usually shout-outs take a while, all right? So let's start off with the YouTube side shout-outs. We start off today with Zoya, who did a super chat and said, as a variety streamer, you should play more genres. You mean like everything? Oh, my God. Play more genres. Okay, right now, Elden Ring. FromSoft game, open world RPG, but grueling difficulty. It's kind of its own genre at this point. Kirby, kind of a cutesy platformer, Nintendo first-party title, okay? Tomorrow, Lego Star Wars, both a pop culture tie-in and a Lego game. That's its own genre. Tomorrow night, Skyrim, open world first-person classic RPG, completely different. Last night, I played old school Street Fighter, 2D fighting game, completely. That's 5 different genres. 5. Monday night, we're going to be doing something different based on what you vote, likely turning into 6 different genres. Okay? What exactly are you talking about? Seriously. Anyway, Kevin did a super chat. Says, I saw the video. Are you going to review each part? What are you talking about? Kevin, I need elaboration. I have no idea what you're talking about right now. If you're talking about Down the Rabbit Hole, there's only one part. There's Down the Rabbit Hole, Dark Side Phil. That's it. There's no multiple parts or anything like that. I don't know what you're talking about. Unless you're talking about a different thing. I don't even know what you're speaking of. Christian Westman became a channel supporter. I'm curious if that means that we went up. Let's see. Let's take a look, because we have to track memberships now. It's very important to be on top of these memberships and make sure we're tracking the correct numbers, since there is a goal in sight. We're at 372, so I think we did go up 1? No. See what I mean? For every time that it looks like you're getting a new member, someone didn't renew their membership, and then it stays the same. We're still at 372, okay? Ectoplasm just did a super chat, says, do you find it exhausting playing games you don't enjoy? Well, here's the thing. Back in the day, yes. Because back in the day, I was actually known as the guy who would literally play every major release, whether or not it was even one that I really had any kind of interest in. It was more about me just covering every game, on release day, running to GameStop and buying it, or getting a midnight release, digitally and playing it right away, playing through that game as soon as possible, getting the full playthrough up on YouTube and on to the next. And there, admittedly, back then when that was my mentality, that was a situation where I was like, rushing through a lot of games. There weren't games, a lot of the times, that weren't things that I was enjoying. It was just for the sake of getting the content out there, right? All right, Jade, have a good night. I'll see you later. Have fun at the casino and good luck. Okay, so that was back in the day. If you haven't noticed, the last few years, things have dramatically changed around here. I particularly tried to pick and choose games that I'm going to enjoy, and there's a couple reasons for that, okay? Actually, I'd say there's 3 primary reasons. Number 1, I'm a full-time streamer. Being a full-time streamer, I have to make sure that I am using my time wisely, because it's all here live on stream broadcast with you guys scheduled out. You know what I'm saying? When I was an offline content creator many years ago, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. Not have to worry about, I have to be there for a live stream at a certain time and be there for a certain, I promised one thing and I do it exactly at that time. It was more like, okay, today I just got to play a lot of games. So I wake up and I start playing one game, I play the shit out of it, I upload the videos, I go take a shit, I fucking take 2 hours off to go eat and dick around, and I come back and I film more and I fucking upload. It didn't matter. Now everything's on a schedule. When everything's on a schedule, it's a lot different. Okay? So number one, I have to pick and choose things that I feel are going to fill my time and be worth the time because I have limited time because I'm on a schedule. That's number one. Number two, there's so many games coming out now, all at a time, including not only big AAA, but kind of mid-size, and then there's indie games. At any waking moment, I could probably play any new game because there's so many coming out so quickly. You know what I'm saying? So with that many games coming out in a short period of time, I mean, just look at February and March. I had to skip tons of games because there was no way I could cover them all. And also the fact that modern games are becoming way more lengthy. Tell me one time in the past when I tackled a game like Elden Ring and I was saying, oh, it's just mandatory that I'll play this for 120 hours, right? Like, what? That's insanely exceptional that a game would even be that long or that time consuming, right? So with that being said, things are changing. So many games in a short period of time, and games getting longer, more challenging, taking longer to beat. Yeah, I have to pick and choose the games that I like more over the ones that are a risk. And then on top of that, yes, the third, and of course, definitely a big thing is that money is challenging to me. I don't have unlimited funds. I can't just buy any game. Remember back in the day, I was like, I had no expenses. I had no debt. I was just like, hey, I can just spend money on whatever I want. So I get a collector's edition of every game for no reason. And I'd have a stupid statue sitting around behind me like, you know, a collector's edition statue would be sitting there. And over here, I'd have a stupid remote control vehicle I would never use because it was part of the content. You know what I mean? Today, I can't drop money like that anymore. You know, I'm barely making ends meet half the time. So I got to basically penny pinch and buy the games I know I'm going to get maximum value out of, but I'm also very much interested in playing because I'll get enjoyment out of it. I basically don't have time to play games that I think suck because there's just not enough time in the day and not enough funds to go around, okay? So the truth of the matter here is, Ectoplasm, back in the day, yes, when I was literally playing every game just for the sake of having enough content to pump out because there weren't that many new releases, yeah, it was getting tough for me because it was like, damn, I don't really like this game, but I'm going to tough through it because this is something that I got to get a playthrough out. It was like work. It was like, wow, this is like a grueling work schedule. Now, things are different. Now, we're in a situation where I play things I like most of the time. Like right now, I look at all the games that are sitting on my PlayStation 5. Horizon Forbidden West, really liked it. Didn't love it, but I really liked it. Ghostwire Tokyo, liked it. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition, I have a love-hate relationship with, but mostly I'm happy to play classic games. Elden Ring, I like it a lot. Lego Star Wars, like it a lot. That's what's on my PS5. There's not a single game there that I'm kind of like, meh, I'm on the fence. They're all good. They're all good games in my opinion. That's why it's actually hard for me at the end of the year now to actually do the most disappointing games countdown. Most of the time I'm playing games that I like, which is a good thing, obviously, but at the same time, it's very different from my old philosophy, okay? So, there you go, my friends. I hope that makes sense, and Ectoplasm, I hope that answers your question. Now we can scoot over to tips. We start off today with a tip from Elevenin. That's hard to say. Tipped me $10 to get the tipping started today. Says, hey, Phil, I'm not doing too good, but I always enjoy your stream, so thanks. Well, you're welcome, 11. And first of all, I'm sorry to hear you're not doing too good. I hope that it's just like a cold or something. You know what I mean? I mean, that could mean a lot of things. And I certainly hope that it doesn't mean anything serious. But I hope that you do feel better. I'm glad to hear that my streams give you some pleasure and maybe put a smile on your face when you're feeling down or you're not feeling good. And I hope that you feel better as soon as possible. Okay? Cool. Batman versus Superman. Tipped $10. Says, I just noticed there was a horror game called Martha that you haven't played. Martha! So I guess it's supposed to be the Batman versus Superman when they both scream Martha, and for some reason the name triggers them, which is some of the worst writing I've ever heard in my fucking life, right? Thank you for the tip, Batman versus Superman. Wilfred tipped me $1.50 and says you should try a game. It's called Superliminal. It's on Game Pass, very trippy, short, and fun. All right, it's something that I'll have to consider. I think that we had seen it when we were going through Game Pass games a couple months ago. I think we had seen it on there, but I don't think we were too interested in it because we didn't know what it was. So you're suggesting it. Thank you for the suggestion, and thank you for the tip. Nico did a $1.50 tip, and he says, No More Heroes 3 comes to PS5 and Xbox this fall. Are you interested in it? Not really. And here's why. No More Heroes 1 I thought was a quirky game, but it played horribly on the PlayStation. I remember playing it, and it was on PlayStation Move, of all things, right? Because they were trying to act like PlayStation Move's ball top weird phallic controller was a good motion control. It really wasn't. No motion control is really good in my opinion. But that it was kind of like a substitute for the Wiimote, because originally that game, No More Heroes, had come out on the Wii, and then they had the Move version, okay, with full HD and everything. It was supposed to be a better version. It wasn't. That controller barely worked. It really was a chore to get through that playthrough because the controller was pretty much half functional for the game, okay? That being said, when I beat it, I thought it was all right. It was funny in parts. It had some unique gameplay elements. I wasn't in love with it, but I definitely thought it was entertaining. So I bought the sequel on the Wii this time, telling you guys there's no fucking way I'm playing it with anything but a Wiimote, because obviously that's what it's designed for. That game is sitting over there in one of my storage bins. It's been there for about 10 years. Literally, no one ever wanted to see it. It was always an option whenever there was a viewer's choice or a player, or, you know, a patron's choice when I used to do those. When we used to do these events, hey, nominate a game, vote on a game. Never did people ask for it. So for me, that tells me what happens is those games have a fan base, but that fan base is not my fan base. You see what I'm saying? Like, maybe there's people who really like that style of game and they went and watched other people play it, but obviously the people in my fan base aren't that, or else they would have asked for it, right? And so, yeah, no, I've never really considered No More Heroes 3, because why would I consider 3 when no one wanted 2? I have 2 sitting right there and no one asks for it, okay? Maybe that'll change. Maybe over the course of the summer, people will be like, oh, well, since No More Heroes 3 is coming out in the fall, would you play 2 as a lead-in? And maybe I'll consider it. Right now, it seems dead to me, you know? Okay. Continuing on, Cracker Jacks did a whopping, ginormous, and very generous $30 tip. Thank you so much, Cracker Jacks. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Crap. Oh my God, excuse me. There we go. And so that'll go over $52 in tips, which means it is Gunner Glasses time. Awesome, guys. The one disappeared for some odd reason. And if you notice me touching my mustache or beard a lot today, it's allergies. My whole face is itching me again because of allergies. It bothers me. I hate this pollen shit. It really bothers me this time of year. Everything itches, but there's nothing I can do about it besides make some, you know, I do have some allergy medication, but I save it unless I absolutely need it. If there's one day like I'm really bad and I can't breathe and everything's going crazy, then I'll take it. So far, it hasn't happened this season, which is good. Okay. There we go. So thank you, Cracker Jacks. And Cracker Jacks says the following. Happy Easter, brother. Looking forward to a variety of games. Me too. I'm excited that now we're finally getting out of this rotation of kind of like the same games. We're doing new stuff. We got refreshing stuff coming up with Game Pass. This is good. This is going to be a good time for us. So thank you, Cracker Jacks, for the very generous tip. Dan the Man has tipped me $6.66, and he says, hey, Phil, what is going on, Dan? It's good to see you here today. I hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you for the support. We're well on our way to the hat goal, which would be excellent to get a hat today for the Elden Ring stream. I think there was another super chat that had come in. Excuse me. So this one is Kevin, and he says, we want multiplayer games. Play with chat. The only multiplayer game I'm playing right now and have any interest in whatsoever is old school Street Fighter. And as we saw, it doesn't work. I tried setting up a lobby. Grog was able to join, and then another person was not. And then another person was, but then couldn't again. It doesn't work. So sadly, with the multiplayer games I'm currently playing, it's not happening, okay? Halo Infinite, we were talking about doing it. The game got boring as shit, and I stopped playing it. So if and when there is a major multiplayer game and there's opportunity for a big multiplayer event or something, I'll think about it. There's nothing right now. I'm not changing my schedule to do it. I've already explained a million times the logistics of doing multiplayer is a pain in the ass. No one's satisfied because everyone wants to play at different times, and I can't play at all different times. Someone ends up being disappointed massively because they wanted to participate and they couldn't, or it didn't work out, or it was laggy. It's always a mess. I'm not a multiplayer gamer at heart. I'm mostly an offline kind of gamer. We all know that. That's what people come here for. I understand that you want that. I'm not that kind of guy. If you want that, you could go watch someone who does multiplayer all the time. Every once in a while, I'll do something special. It's just not happening right now. I've already reiterated this probably about 4 dozen times in the last 2 months. So please stop asking for something that's not going to happen. You're just wasting your breath. Okay. Okay. Very nice. All right, so I think we've gotten through all shout-outs, which means now it is time to open up chat, to open Q&A, but only to intelligent questions, not to people who are going to ask the same question I just answered. So let's see what people have to ask. And by the way, we are still doing the ultra low latency streaming. That means that within 5 seconds, I can see questions and answer them, including Dieter, who just asked the following. Have you ever considered doing VR horror on PC or PlayStation? I hope you and the Miss have a great weekend. Thank you. Can't do it on PC. Can't do really anything on PC. First of all, my PC is incredibly old. It gets pushed to the limit just capturing and streaming. Imagine trying to play a PC game at the same time. It would crap out. So that's a no-go. PlayStation, I own PlayStation VR. I used it for about 3 to 4 months when it came out. If you remember, for the first 2 months, I played almost every major release, and I tried Resident Evil 7 horror. And even though, admittedly, there are a few added maybe things with horror, like, for example, I think the Until Dawn on-rail shooter was actually quite a scary game at the time. The gimmick died out, and I basically stopped caring about VR. It didn't really matter to me anymore. Plus, VR, I hate to say it, at least with the PlayStation VR, is not there yet. And what I mean by that is wearing that thing for longer than 15 minutes at a time, it's uncomfortable, starts to hurt your neck. I was getting condensation and sweat inside the visor. That was very annoying, and some of the games were giving me motion sickness. So it's like, I understood that there was some benefit to it. The first slew of games that I played on PSVR, I actually was very impressed. And then after playing more and more games in the VR, the whole impressed thing just kind of wore off. The gimmick wore off. Much like when you first pick up your PS5 controller and you play Astro's Playroom and you get all that haptic feedback and you're like, wow, this is the future of gaming. And then when you play your third or fourth game that has the haptic feedback, you don't even notice it's there after the first 20 minutes, and it's nothing anymore. It's really nothing, no value added. And I kind of feel the same way about VR. Like, there is a benefit there when you first see what you could do with it, and then it quickly fizzles out, especially when you start to get all those negative detriments, all right? Now, in addition to that, all right, I'm an interactive streamer. That whole PSVR thing was before I became an interactive streamer. When I became an interactive streamer, now my content is thus. Not only doing gameplay for you guys, but also live interactions, discussions, shout-outs for contributions. This is a major part of what I do. If I put a VR headset on, I've literally cut that portion out of my content. I can't see what you're saying. I can't interact with you. Nothing. So why would I do that? This is my full-time gig, is being an interactive streamer for 5 years now, by the way. So why would I say, oh, by the way, I've decided today I'm only going to do half the work to put on a silly gimmick headset and play a game for a few hours? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see the value. Maybe somewhere down the line, VR will come at us with something that's not annoying and intrusive and doesn't have issues like, oh, my neck, or, oh, I feel like I'm going to vomit. It hasn't been there yet. At least with PSVR, what I had, which was the only VR ever available really to me, it just didn't impress me. You know, after a couple of months and the gimmick wore off, it just wasn't worth it. So, okay. Oh, let's see here. If I put the mic any closer to my mouth, I think people would go deaf. The whole reason this pop guard is here so that if I do get too close, you don't hear giant explosions and things that sound uncomfortable. I don't think I should get any closer to the mic. For most people, I think that would be pretty not beneficial. Dawes Bullshit says, what about Deltarune Chapter 2? That was something that I was considering at one point. I didn't play it because there was too much else going on at the time. It was really bad timing when he released it. I don't know why he released it when he did in the middle of that busy gaming season. What's funny is no one's really asked for it since then. It's not that it's not been a possibility. It's that there really isn't a consensus of people asking for it. If you guys ever wanted to see it, just please let me know. But, that's why I really haven't considered going back to it. It's not a big deal. Okay? Suka Surprise says, since you said you can't play every game anymore, why not do feedback to decide what major releases you'll play leading up to the game releases, hold a poll, and play the game that wins? Well, if there was a situation where there was like 3-4 major releases coming out in 1 week, and I was on the fence about which ones to play, I would do that. If you haven't noticed, what I do is I pick and choose the ones that I know I'm going to probably be more interested in. I think it makes more sense for me to do that than to do a poll and have people pick a game that I have zero interest in, and then I get forced into playing a game that I don't like, which is literally what we were just talking about with Ectoplasm earlier, that I don't do that anymore. I did used to do that, and that's when I was feeling like, man, this job sucks, it's boring, I forced myself to do shit I don't like. I wasn't having a good time with my work anymore, and that's when I was starting to get burnt out. As opposed to now, I definitely pick the stuff I'm more interested in, and because of that, I feel like the content is better. So if there ever was a situation where there's like, okay, there's 6 games coming out in 2 weeks, I want to play all of them, they all seem good, then I would ask you guys, what order do you want, and I would do polling. That hasn't really happened, okay? Okay, DTF Steak Fries just did a super chat and says, I honestly must say one of your best playthroughs was Bug Snacks. I've been here since 2010 and I watched it a few times. I'm pumped for a sequel. I would like a full sequel. I don't know what they'll do one. You know, as you know, they are doing the expansion DLC on the 28th of this month, so a little bit over a week away, or a little bit under 2 weeks, I guess I should say. But sadly, it's only 3 hours long. They're saying it's basically a small new area to go to with giant bug snacks in it to catch and do puzzles on, but it's only about a 3 hour long segment, which kind of sucks. That's disappointing to me. I was hoping that they would actually be putting out like a sequel, and maybe they will eventually. But I hear you. I really liked that playthrough. It was surprisingly good for what it was, and I do hope that we get more in the future. Okay. Nico, I would not consider buying physical games. He says, what about if you trade them and you save some money? It's this simple. All right? I don't have a game store near me. The closest place I could buy a video game would be, there's either a Fred Meyer across the street over there or a Safeway over there. Either one has an electronic style department where you can buy some games, okay? Likely I would just go right there to Fred Meyer. It's like a block away, okay? You can't trade in a Fred Meyer. In order to trade in games, I would have to actively be driving all the way to like GameStop or Best Buy, both of which are about a half an hour away, all right? That's much further drive than it used to be in Connecticut when I used to do this. It used to be much closer. It was about a 15-minute drive, so it's further away here. By doing that, by having to get the physical copies of the games, I'm literally making myself unable to set up ahead of time. And what I mean by that is right now, let's say today was a new release day. Well, last night I would have bought the game, preloaded it, and had it ready to go. So at the moment we're done with the podcast, we start playing. We're good. Otherwise, if I was getting physical games, I would literally this morning have to get up early, drive across town, buy the game physically. Hopefully they have it there in stock, because sometimes in a place like Best Buy, they don't even have it ready. Drive it home, pop it into my PlayStation, get it installing, and then start the podcast. You see, it would dramatically delay my ability to have a consistent schedule. Plus, there's traffic concerns and gas that has to be spent. So you're talking about dramatically adding difficulty to what I do easily right now for the sake of thinking that, oh, if I beat that game, I could go trade it in and make a few bucks. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I used to do back in the day. Back in the day, I used to go to GameStop. Now, this is a long time ago. And I would buy 3 new releases in 1 week. I would come home before I ever live streamed. I would play the shit out of those games. I would beat all 3 games in 1 week. Those playthroughs would all be live on DSPGaming, and I would go right back to GameStop the next week and trade those 3 games in. Because number 1, I was trading 3 in at once, and number 2, because I was trading them in within only a week of release, I would get tremendous trade-in value for those games. Sometimes I was getting, no exaggeration, $45 back out of the $60 I had spent. So essentially, I spent $15 for a rental for a week, and I got all my other money back. That was crazy. Those times are long gone. Good luck going to GameStop and trying to trade a game in for anything like more than $20 at all. Okay? So that's the thing. Like, the value is just so different now than it used to be, that the whole idea of even driving there to buy the physical game, right? Bring it home, install it, which dramatically adds gas costs, adds install time, and delaying my stream. And then the other factor you really have to factor in here is that today, I'm not the same gamer as I was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I would rush through every game and beat it within a week. Now, even a game like Ghostwire Tokyo that's only around 16 hours long, or even a game like Kirby and the Forgotten Land that's like 19 hours long, they take 3 weeks to beat. Because I'm balancing it with everything else. I'm a variety streamer and content creator. I'm not the guy who buys a new game, plays it insanely quickly, skipping most of the content to rush through and see the ending, and then getting to the next game. That's what I used to be known as. And now those days are gone. Number 1, everyone who is one of these selected golden content creators gets all the games early anyway. They're getting copies of the games and playing them before anyone else can get their hands on them. So the whole idea of playing it as soon as possible and getting the playthrough out right away is dead. It's a dead idea. They're always going to get that advantage on everyone because they've been selected to essentially be paid figureheads for the games industry. Their content is junk. It's all paid advertisement, but people watch it because they're fucking stupid. Okay? Just simple. It's that dumb. Yes, you're watching paid advertisements if you're watching someone who gets everything they play for free. The fact you don't understand that, I can't make you any smarter. I've talked about it for years and years and people still do it. There's nothing I can do to stop people from being stupid. Okay? So that's number one. And number two, again, I'm a streamer now. I don't have time to sit here and play one game all week. People would be pissed. People would be like, man, that's boring. They want variety. The people watching today's Elden Ring stream may not be the people who are here tonight for Kirby, who may not be the same people who are here for Lego, who may not be the same people who are here for Skyrim. Can you imagine if in 1 week all I did was play Kirby? What would happen to all those other viewers? Right? So it stands to reason that I basically need to be in a situation where I do variety and I can't be rushing through games like I used to. So that's why the whole deal, get the game early, rush through it, trade it in, that whole model doesn't work anymore. At most, if I bought physical games and I traded them in, I get like 10, 20 bucks each. Big deal. That's like nothing. It's negligible. Okay. Let's see here. How good was Justin Wong in Marvel 2? He was the best. He was outright the best ever. No one could hold a candle to him. Every once in a while, he'd be defeated by someone, but when he tried hard, he would always be the best. Do I feel my opinions are out of step with modern gamers? That I'm too cynical or quick to stand something as a gimmick? I don't care. That's one of the unique things about me is that I'm not a young modern gamer. I don't fall for marketing. I don't fall for fads. I see through hype. I can be honest because I've been doing this for so long. I'm a lifelong gamer. I grew up in the formative years of console gaming and arcade gaming. I was there for both. So I can tell you from a unique perspective what's really going on in the gaming industry at every given time while everyone else is all hype, 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 hype. I see right fucking through it every time. That's a lot different than what you're seeing from other content creators. That's my unique style, and that's why I feel I have the longevity I had. If I was like everyone else, I wouldn't be here anymore. I was never that golden reviewer. That's completely false. It's absolutely ridiculous. I was never selected personally to get early copies of games. Very few times. I think the one time ever was Fallout 4. Every other time that I played anything early was because a friend of mine got it early and I got lucky. Or in the case of Dark Souls 3, there was a way to get the Japanese version early and everyone else was already doing it. So I had to do it because at that point, I wasn't a live streamer. I was reliant on YouTube ad revenue. And if everyone else played Dark Souls 3 before me, there goes all my ad revenue. So I had to kind of do it. I'd say the only time ever was Fallout 4. And I was shocked that it happened. I was incredibly shocked that I got the game like I did. I don't know how I was selected. It must have been Machinima really campaigned for me to get it. And it didn't really do much, you know. That's about it. That was the only time. And by the way, no, I was not a paid shill. When I played Fallout 4, I was able to give my opinions on that day. If you're watching a content creator who says, oh, I'm playing a game early, and by the way, I can't give my opinions because there's this review embargo, you're literally watching a paid advertisement. That person has received some kind of compensation to basically kiss the game's butt, and you're not watching legit gameplay. And the moment that happens, you should turn that fucking person off and never go back because that person doesn't respect your time. They're literally saying, I'm going to give you a paid advertisement under the guise of entertaining content, and you can't trust anything that happens on this segment because I'm getting paid for it. So why the fuck would you ever want to go back to that person? I wouldn't. I certainly would never go back and watch someone like that again. So that's my take on it. Thank you, Guts. He says, I'm ready to have a nice stream. Sounds good. I never had a broken vacuum. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the vacuum from last year? We've long since had a new vacuum. What on earth? Oh, I'm never playing Fallout 76 ever again. The game sucks. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? You gotta love the random questions. You got to. The random nonsense. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What does that have to do with anything? Black Lady Walking, I'm not going to recommend or mention any streamers for Elden Ring gameplay, because whenever I mention anything like that, people fucking harass people, so I'm not doing it. Why am I resistant to change adaptation? What are you talking about? Today, I'm more open to suggestions of improvement than ever before. In the last month, okay? Just in the last month, I added a new thumbnail directly to all of my live streams saying live, because people were complaining they wanted a unique thumbnail, so they knew that that was the live stream. All right? And I opened my horizons and said, I'm listening to your direct feedback. Let's do a special event where I watch a video about me, made about me, that got 6 million views on YouTube, when previous to that, I've always ignored that kind of criticism. Just in the last month, we had 2 major things that are different that I'm listening directly to feedback. I hate when people make blanket statements and don't fucking corroborate them. Why are you so this? Why do you do this? When the fuck do I do that? When is that? Because what you're doing is you're sitting in this circle outside of this stream, and you're listening to dunces and idiots and people who are using you and fooling you and reiterating these memes and these negative toxic stereotypes because you're stupid. And they know you're gullible, so they repeat the same thing ad nauseum. Darkside Phil doesn't listen to suggestions or criticism. Darkside Phil bans all criticism from his streams. Darkside Phil never improves or changes. It's literally the opposite. But you believe it because you're stupid. And then you come here and you say that dumb shit on my stream, and how do you expect me to react? To be happy about it? When you come here and you're going to make a statement like that, make some kind of corroborating statement with it. Not just, oh, why are you so this? Well, fucking tell me how. What the fuck are you talking about? Do I think remakes or signal the game industry is becoming less creative and daring? No, the remakes mean that they're greedy. And what I mean by that is, take a look at the movie industry. How many movies that come out today are original, right? Let's be honest. You see tons of movies that are just remakes or redos or rehashes of things that have already been done, because they realize it's quick and easy money and it's minimal effort. They don't have to reinvent the wheel because the wheel's already been invented. Just repackage the wheel, make it look slightly new and shiny, and then give you the wheel again. And that's what it is in gaming. Oh, this game already was a tried and true classic many years ago. Make it look better, make it run on a modern console, repackage it, sell it again for full price, and, you know, profit off of minimal effort. That's exactly what it is. Jeremy Carl says, it's a shame you fought Radon before they patched the patch, because he fought him and got his ass kicked. And I agree with you. I would have rather had the real fight. I'm angry that I was in that situation where I missed the real fight because they made a bad decision. When will I be playing a new JRPG? Right now, I'm not playing any JRPGs. There's just not an opportunity right now, especially with the fact that I'm doing an insanely lengthy Skyrim playthrough. We've been doing an insanely lengthy Elden Ring playthrough. What I would say is, once we start wrapping up some of the lengthiest playthroughs I'm doing, then you can look to say, oh, let's do another thing that's lengthy. But especially now with Skyrim in 90 plus hours, and we're still going strong. We still have multiple guilds / groups to do their quest lines in. We still have the whole political quest line I haven't done yet, and I haven't even touched one of the 2 DLCs that are lengthy. I don't think it makes sense to interject yet another RPG. But like I said, I would be very interested this summer to maybe do some retro stuff that's shorter. So for example, if I play something like Earthbound or Chrono Trigger or Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, those are shorter games. Those can be beaten within a week or 2 weeks. They're not insanely lengthy where they're going to take months to beat like Skyrim. So that I think would make more sense to interject when I'm playing a lengthy game like Skyrim, rather than say, oh, let's play an 80-hour JRPG now. It's probably a bad idea. Well, Rusty, I'm glad to hear that. He says that basically my streams have saved his life on more than one occasion. Now, keep in mind that that's really not on me. That's more on you, because I'm just making content, and a lot of people tell me